So if you remember, right, when I was saying, you might have heard a story, Cashman's came to me flat, sat in the flat, sort of issued a sniper and then got jobbed on. And then 4 months later came back to kill me. Now, because the lamb and that have shit themselves and thought whatever they thought, you might have heard me saying in previous fucking podcasts that the calling sign of the Kinahans is 2 firearms are used. Okay? So every kid that's been done in Liverpool where 2 firearms are being used, it's normally the Kinahans, whoever gunman there is. That was Cashman. He's done a couple with 2 firearms. Do you understand what I'm saying? The gunman that came for me had 2 firearms. Cashman, when he went for that kid and ended up killing that baby, had 2 firearms. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And it makes sense. He's came to me flat, asked me to shut up about Shorty. Stephen Turney, little idiot, little rat. Uses and abuses all the boys. So there you go. Chin saying I thought he was rapping. That's your chin, lad. What happened to you, mate? You look like Peter Hilton. Or was it Jimmy Hilton? Used to be on BBC Two, you lad, presenting football. Got a chin like a fucking net off a goal. How did it get that big, lad? What's happening with that? It's like a chopping board, lad. Honest, like a chopping board. I mean, don't take that like I'm picking on you. You know, I'm just very observant. Yes, beach ball. Where's Short, you know, Morocco? On his toes. Has been for 10 years, lad. Longer, actually. It's about 10 years now. So, you know, I know he tried to kill me on that day. Just like I'm at risk, just like my family's at risk, so's his. It's because he's in jail. Crumbled on me. When he's shit at his job, weren't he? Tell it right. But let's look at Carl Bradley. If it weren't for the snow, Carl would have survived. Wouldn't he? I was saying that he stopped shooting the kid when really his gun's probably jammed. What happened when he went for the other kid? When he got the baby? His gun jammed. And the feds know who it is. The feds definitely know who it is. Why? Because they can tell the weapons, the ballistics off the weapons. But what they won't say is, they won't go in a newspaper and go, we found a weapon that was responsible for the shooting on Maryport Close outside this house and this. They won't do that, they won't disclose that, do you understand? But they know it. If the 5-0 have got a serious problem with you, they turn blind eye. And the 5-0 had serious problems with me and still do. Honest, mate. They just blamed me for all mad shit that was going on. And without telling me, or out informing me that I'm getting blamed for this shit, they just kept it quiet and targeted me behind the scenes. For years. Out and in. She'll look for a story to tell you the story, to tell you why the 5-0 have been targeting me so much. block a few people that don't get the, even if the subs, just get rid of them. Laughing at mad shit. It's like the ones that have wanted to fucking spy and troll and buzz off it all have subbed as if it fucking guarantees them to stay in. I'll block you like I've just blocked her. Fuck your sub. I'm not asked about your sub. Block straight away. How are you, El Perry, lad? You good? I'm seeing you all day, mate. You been working or something, lad? Kevin Rowe. Kevin, lad. So we are, look. Here's a story in the Guardian paper from Friday the 14th of May, excuse me, 2004. So Friday the 14th of May 2004, the Guardian have published a story, and it's called, and this is what it says at the top of the article. This article is more than 21 years old. So, car destroyed in late night blast. This is what the story says. An explosion rocked houses, pubs and shops on a busy main road in Liverpool last night when a car was blown up beneath a disused railway bridge. Fragments of the vehicle, a red Volvo 440 saloon, were strewn around West Derby Road in the Tuebrook area, where a market is held 3 times a week. No one was injured. Police are blaming me for this shit. I'm sure I'm in jail when half of this shit was going on as well, you know. A Merseyside police spokesman said detectives did not believe the blast was linked to terrorism. One witness who refused to be named said 2 lads in their 20s drove up in the car and then jumped out and slammed the doors. They legged it down the road and they were no more than about 100 yards when it blew up. There was a loud, muffled bang and then there was glass and wreckage everywhere. Inspector George Dawson of Merseyside Police said first indications are that the vehicle had been destroyed by what appears to be the detonation of an industrial-sized firework inside the passenger compartment. There was no obvious motive for the blast, he added. What they're not telling you there is that bridge and that place is smack bang outside Tuebrook Police Station. Here's another thing here from 2003, October. And again, fuck all to do with me. But the people that were around me, if you're the brains, you just get the blame, even though it's for other people. It began with a petty, look, this is what this one is. Petty dispute leads to nail bomb feud. So this story is dated. Where's the date on this? Saturday the 4th of October 2003. Outbreak of violence is bad news as Liverpool gears up to be a European capital of culture. It began with a petty dispute over a woman who was dating a member of a rival faction, and it has led to a violent chain of events which has rocked Liverpool, culminating in a car bomb attack and a nail bomb being blobbed into a packed pub. So, it began with a petty dispute over a woman who was dating a member of a rival faction. The woman was Jennifer Ellison. The man was her boyfriend at the time, Tony Richardson. which led as a rocket Liverpool, culminating in a car bomb attack and a nail bomb being lobbed into a packed pub. Had the nail bomb exploded, the effects would have been devastating. The pub, Dickie Lewis's, on the outskirts of the city, was bustling with 60 people last Saturday night when it was thrown through the door. The bomb, made from a bottle of tightly wrapped with blue tape, contained low-grade explosive and a fuse, and was stuffed with nails and screws. In another incident 2 weeks ago, a Peugeot 205 parked outside a nightclub, the 051, in the centre of Liverpool, and a man was captured on CCTV leaving the car. Shortly afterwards, it exploded. No one was injured, but the area was cordoned off and an incident team was set up by police. The wreckage of the car and the nail bomb are being examined by specialist teams. One observer described the escalating violence as being like Northern Ireland in the 1980s. It's only one matter of time before someone gets killed, he said. Car and nail bombs are bad news for the newly cleaned up image of the city, which is eagerly anticipating an influx of tourists as it prepares to become European capital of culture. Mad that, isn't it? Now the police were holding me accountable for all these without telling me. Ruining me in jail, ruining me parole, fucking me now. Probably still fucking blaming me now. That's why I'm under that prevent. That's why I keep on telling you I'm under that prevent. So we are, look, 7 years, 17 in jails for car bombing. So you might have seen a programme on BBC One about the Liverpool Mafia. I think it was a Panorama documentary, wasn't it? About the Liverpool Mafia. And in that documentary, you had some Scouse lads. I mean, some Manchester kids from Salford, the Cox brothers. And you had a Scouser called Richie Caswell. Richie Caswell used to look like Will Young, so they used to call him Will. So him who's being nicked on that you know where it showed them going in a house and stealing that £1 million worth of swag and bailing with it, causing murder in the city over it. Well, this is him, listen. A car bomber who helped cause the biggest explosion on British mainland for a decade begins a 17-year jail sentence today. So this was published on the 8th of April 2005. So I'm already in jail at this point. Oh no, it was first printed in April 2005, then it was updated on May the 9th, 2013. And this is what it says. A car bomber who helped cause the biggest explosion on the British mainland for a decade begins a 7-year jail sentence today. Former nightclub doorman Richard Caswell played a part in blowing up 3 cars in Liverpool as part of a gang feud involving club bosses in the city. The 23-year-old parked vehicles outside 2 homes and West Derby Road police station in Truebrook so they could be filled with fireworks and petrol and detonated, firing shards of metal into nearby buildings. He was not the brains behind the terror plot, but a willing foot soldier who did the dirty work for his bosses after getting drawn into a feud involving the Lynch family, owners of the Club 051 in the city centre. So some of you might have heard of Shaun Smith. You might have seen him on podcasts and interviews and on here and shit. Well, he was head of security for the Lynch family, a crime family from Liverpool who owned all these nightclubs and shit. And you hear when I read before where it said a girl and her boyfriend, rival faction. Well, what had happened is these two got into a wars. The Lynches and the Richardsons had got into a beef, and it just escalated to this, all this kicked in. But I'm getting the blame for this. And the feds aren't telling me. I found out later in an oral parole hearing. It's the only way I've got to find out about it. Let's carry on reading. The first job done by Coswell saw a car blown upside the home of Peter Lynch in Sandfield Walk, Sandfield Park, West Derby on October the 18th, 2003. The blast, the most powerful in Britain for a decade, extensively damaged 6 homes with a piece of car embedded in ceilings. The next day, Caswell parked a car outside the home of Susan Taggart, the former partner of Peter Lynch, and her 14-year-old daughter in Bulford Road for Zachley, to cause an explosion. After detectives launched an operation to catch him, Caswell of Windall Road, Garston, helped set up a third car bombing on May the 13th, 2004, outside West Derby Road Police Station. Appearing at Liverpool Crown Court, Caswell admitted plotting to cause explosions and possessions of weapons and ammunition. Jailing him, Judge John Roberts said innocent bystanders could have been killed. He's in jail now doing another heavy sentence, Richard Caswell. So when he was in jail for this, Richard Caswell, he was just getting treated as a normal prisoner. So he was in Walton. And then what happened is the families that were having murder with the Lynches, what they've done, you know what a cherry picker is? You know when you see them fellas in your road fixing lamps and you've got these machines. So what the boys done back in the day, they went and stole a cherry picker, drove it about 2 o'clock, about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, drove this cherry picker from where they stole it with a tractor, drove to Walton Prison, put cones out on the road, put all the lights on, so the road was diverted, the traffic was diverted on the main road outside Walton, parked the cherry picker up, and then waited for Will to go to the gym. So what, at a certain time, they put the fucking thing up, the cherry picker, and thrown a chain over the wall, you know, the prison wall. And when he's gone to the gym, he's went and bailed to the chain. Started raining on him. The chain was too slippy. So he got caught. He got caught. Got double cat A's off. Now he's in the double cat A's in the dispersal system, and he's a Scouser. And it's going off with the Muslims. It's starting to get heavy. Scousers and Muslims are having beef in there. And Richie's aligned himself with this other Scouser called Chris Tobago. Chris Ashton. He formed this group in prison called the Piranha Firm. And the Piranha Firm was formed to deal with the Muslim brothers. Do you understand what I mean? So now Richie's in the dispersal system, and now he's falling into this madness because loads of Scousers are getting attacked down there. So now when them lads who are attacking Scousers get sent up north, they're getting had. So Richie's now in Long Lartin. I think he was in Long Lartin, Richie now. And he's on one of them wings with all these fucking Islamists and shit, and they try and intimidate you and that. And Richie's just a game kid. Game. And he can handle himself as well. He's always had a little scrap as well, Richie, so he can handle himself. So I don't know what happened, but I know the results of it. Someone's moved to him in the kitchen, in the dispersal on the unit. They've moved to him, tried to get him, switched on them, cough for one of them. And when he's gone down, he's landed on the stove, you know, the hot stove on the cooker. And Will's just left him there and got off. Got charged up, got more jail. It sounds like it's in here. Doesn't it? Reckon it's something under my bed, that. Where I've got loads of shit under my bed. Oh yeah, it's gone off. Yeah, so that's Richie Caswell, and then he gets out, starts mixing with the kids he mixed with in jail, And then went through the so-called hardest men in Liverpool stash and took a fucking rucksack of coke worth £1 million. And shit just got messy. Then he got nicked. Then he's gone to jail. And he's going to have problems all his life off that parcel. But he's game, lad. He knows what he's doing, Richie, lad. He knows what he's doing, lad. He's not stupid, mate. Well, I say he's not stupid. There becomes times when you've got to just be stupid. Do you understand what I'm saying? There becomes times where, fuck it. Okay, let's get it on. And you're not asked, you're just all out. So imagine when busies have gone looking for Richie. When they've gone looking for that Richie Caswell. Imagine what they've done, imagine what they've thought. They've kicked his door in, right? He's got something like an handgun right there. Then they took another 4 steps and he's got a shotty round the corner. Then another handgun under his pillow. Then another one under his fucking arm to his teeth. He done well getting a sentence, lad. Done fucking very well in, mate. Now they describe it as the biggest explosion on mainland Britain since the IRA ceased fire. That's how they describe that one outside the 051 nightclub. You might have seen on your social media in the last 2 years, oh, the 051 nightclub's opening again. It's getting open, we're having reunions. You might have seen it everywhere. It got shut down in 2004. Shut down. Never opened till 2 years ago. That was the best club in the city as well. Full every night it was open, rammed. And it just got shut down in one sweep. That was their breadwinner as well, you know, the Lynches. The 051 was the one that really made them their fucking dough. Better than get... That family, the Lynches, had the first gay club in the northwest. In Liverpool it was. Why? Because Big John Lynch was gay. Yeah, they had a wife and kids and all that, but it's a known fact. I'm not screaming nothing that's not known. Loads of them fuckers, all them old school gangsters. I've told you about them. I've warned you about them. Loads of times, mate. Honest. That's a story in itself, because loads of papers latched on it. The door wars, they called it. The door wars. There weren't no fatalities in there. Well, there was one. One fatality in it all. And he was our mate. Well, Wes's mate more than our mate, but he was around us at the time he was murdered. His name's Danny MacDonald. Danny Wah. So, there's 2 stories to Danny Wah murder, why he got murdered. The first one I heard was this. He's gone through some woman's house, some girlfriend's house, or some nana's front door and took a stash. And it was the stash of one of his mates. And that mate got him dealt with. So that's one theory, okay? The other one is, you know the nail bomb? You know the nail bomb that you hear? You know what it says, the pub and it had a nail bomb? The other one is, he was the one that threw the nail bomb in there, but it wasn't him. I know. Do you understand what I'm saying? What you'll do, you'll hear Wes Brown when he's rapping. You'll hear Wes speaking about Danny. So Danny Wah was killed, you know, in the millennium, when it was the year 2000, was that big occasion. He was the first person to be shot dead in the millennium in Liverpool. Not that it's anything to be proud of, but you understand what I mean. That fatality was fuck all to do with the door wars, telling you that for nothing, okay? That fatality was because he robbed someone's stash. Danny Wah and Little Cummo, they got done because Danny Wah robbed someone's stash. Fact. So look, when Danny Wah's being shot, the feds have gone to his, right? And up his path is one of our rammers. We used to have these cars when we're going on missions looking for people, go in a rammer. You know, like a fucking Volvo T5 or a Granada Cosworth Scorpio. You know, sort of like a rammer, cheap but decent to ram people with. So we've got a rammer parked up his mark past this Danny Wah's Mars path. And in the rammer, you've got two hand things and a Remington. You've got a hand thing, a shotgun, and a Remington 308 rifle. If anyone knows anything about our rifles, you'll know what a 308 is. So when Plod have gone round to the Mars, this car's got bullet shots up it. You know where it's been in a mission, someone sprayed it on them when they were in it. They parked it up. So when feds have come to us for this murder, they've spotted this car. And fucking hell, look at the bullet holes on there. Took it. And when they took it, they found these 3 firearms. Now the rifle was mine, but I'd lent it to Danny. And Danny was always with Wes and that little firm in Crocky. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So the last person who used the gun, not discharged it, but went on a mission with it, was me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm sat now about, for 2 nights solid, I'm sat about, I don't know, fucking 20 foot, 30 foot over a wall in bushes on someone's step waiting for them to come in. I'm just gonna fucking hit him with one of these like that. Couldn't miss from where I was as well. It's a Remo 308, camouflaged up, sight on it, all camoed up, proper machine, naughty. You can kill an elephant from a mile away with this rifle. That's how powerful it is, no exaggeration. But while I've been sitting there, you know, stuck in this little sniper position thinking I'm a sniper, that's what it was like. Stuck there, I've spat. Learning curve, just a learning curve. I've spat. Do you understand what I'm saying? And some of the spits landed on the strap. You know, the thing that you roll it with. So now he hasn't turned up, the victim. So it's being put back to bed. And it's been asleep in Danny fucking Wah's Mars front fucking garden in this car. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then he's been wigged. Then the feds have gone and got the car. And then a few fucking months later, I'm already in jail. They pop up. I'm in jail on what I got jail for. And they popped up with this fucking gun. Possession of a firearm without a licence. That's all they can do you with. So, obviously, because Danny was fucked on other charges and I had possibilities of getting off, what they done, because it was partial DNA, they could only say it was one of the G brothers, but they couldn't say which one it was. They ruled the other 3 brothers out. Why? Because they weren't like me and Danny. So me and Danny are in the picture on the same offence, because it can be one or either DNA. So Danny threw his hands in and took that charge for me. A Remington 308. I was going to go into something else then, but I just lost what I was going to say. Well, that's what they call it, isn't it? Bloody Latson. And how that started, how all this started. You've got the Lynches, and they've got most club doors, and they've got a strong 120 doorman, and when they call them out, they're there in a flash. They were vile and bullying. Shaun Smith was one of the worst bullies you could get in the city, alright? He had all these little helmets behind him that loved him, and they were all on steroids and that, and he'd just pick on whoever they wanted, slap birds up and you know, outside this old 5-1 nightclub and that. You know, just treat the boys like shit. Give them cheek, they're getting smashed up on the step and thrown down them and that. Like no one can do anything. So on this one particular night, you've got these kids who were like, you've got the Farleys, and then the Farleys had associates from all over the place. And it was these associates. So you had Marvin, you had Macha, you had Mad Dog, you had Carlos Escoffrey, you had Tony Richardson, you had Lee O'Reilly. And these are all out on a night. These have gone out for the night. And they've gone the 051. And they've gone up the stairs. And them have started treating them like shit. Started scuffling with them. Damaged one of them. Made a show of them in front. And these can't be disrespected. You know the attitude on these groups, innit? They can't be disrespected. So now, it's on. Tit-tat, 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 escalation. Then the IEDs came in, then explosions. I've just told you about 3 things, but there was like 12. You've heard of 1 police station, but there was 7 targeted. Yeah, Tony Richardson. That's where it started. So when you hear that story, everyone says the girlfriend and the rival from a different faction. That's what they're on about, Tony and his girlfriend. So Tony used to live. The reason them things came out properly was because Tony used to live in West Derby with Jennifer Ellison. Jennifer Ellison's like a celebrity at that time. She's on the tellies and all that. And Tony's managed to get in with her. And he's bird and shit. Do you understand? So they lived in West Derby in this nice little estate, and it's gone off with these Lynches. And what the Lynches have done is strapped one car of Jennifer under the car of her, shot her house up and shit. So now it's on. It's next level business now, and that's when you start to getting all them explosions going off. Again, there's no lies there, people. No need to lie, no need to fucking suggest anything untoward. I'm telling you how it is. Don't give a fuck. Most of the names you hear me speak about, I've stood next to and been on missions with and protected them and fucking risked me freedom for them. Years later, when people are trying to kill me, they all knew and never told me. Even though I'm not mixing with them, even though I'm not associating with none of them, you'd think one of them would go, Darren, they're trying to kill you, lad. Wouldn't you? Not one of them did. And the shit I'd done with them when I was a kid. So when you hear of Pancake Taylor, when you hear of Tony Richardson, when you hear of the Farleys, when you hear of all these big notorious people, they've had young men game as fuck, making their reputation for them. That makes sense for you? Making them rich, basically. Yes, Sam. Simshaw Community Centre in Bootle, can you drone a message? I haven't got a drone, lad. Yes, Crystal. I haven't got a drone, mate. Bianca saying you can't trust anyone. I know I can't, mate. Like, you don't hear my angle of what's going on. You don't know what I've tried to do to resolve this with the criminal underworld, and everyone, because they were that shit scared of the firm that's trying to kill me, they just stayed away from me. Even my own brothers shit themselves. No, because the Kinahans. You see what the Kinahans done, they went into the city, and when it's gone off in Ireland, they've had to bail. They never left, they had to bail. Yeah, they might have had the best of it over there, but at the end, they had to get out of there because it was getting too heavy. So they've landed in Manchester, Birmingham and Liverpool. And when they've landed in these places, they've gone to the so-called main... I'm in jail. If this would have happened when I was out and he started thinking he was mad, he was done on the spot. And I'm not bigging myself up or bam. You would not have had the Kinahans moving around Liverpool the way they fucking was if we never went to jail. Fact. Honest. What they've done, they've gone into the city and said to all the big so-called fucking hard cases, you're either on board or get fucking gone. So when they've landed in Liverpool, you just heard the vets moving to Spain. Packing shop and going, Spain. Honest to God. And it just gave them, anyone that didn't play ball, they were killed. Anyone that didn't play ball got killed. Colin Smith never played ball, dead. That's what they done. They came into Liverpool, showed how strong he was by going, that head, gone, in, gone. But they weren't doing it themselves. They had little gunmen. And then when they've arrived in the city, they get little gunmen like Cashman, the Lamb, keep them on side. Now they're using Scousers to kill Scousers and intimidate Scousers, while they're knocking out tons of fucking graft to everyone. Why? Because Liverpool's full of shithouses. And as soon as you've got a firm going in there saying you'll end up dead like him unless you're getting your swag off us, they're all just going, okay, sorry, I'll get my swag off you. And then they'll keep the Lamb and the Cashmans in the city. You always do. Send Cashman round. As soon as they see Cashman, because they know he's dropping bodies, alright, sorry Cashman, I haven't eaten it, yeah, there's the dough. That's what it's like. That's all, folks. Hope you're well, mate. Again, I'm not hating you. You just don't hear this shit out of anyone else, do you? Why? Because they're all shit scared to speak on it. It's not like I've just started speaking on it. I haven't just started speaking about the Kinahans. I weren't speaking about the Kinahans even though they tried to kill me. I still kept it quiet for a year or two. Do you understand? I only started screaming about everything when it was just getting too heavy for me. They're really trying to get me to go out and get myself lifed off. That's what I'm thinking. They were doing everything to get me breached on my licence. That's how much the shithouses are, mate. The gangsters in Liverpool were trying their hardest to get me breached so I'd end up back in jail. I'm not lying to you, mate, honest to God. Fucking heavy, you know when you've got the police and the drug dealers trying to take it, it's like they were working together. I'm not fucking lying to you, mate. It's like a certain group of feds and certain firms of fucking people were working to make me fuck up my licence, mate. Because while all this is happening to me, I'm unlicensed, you know. Honest to God, they're trying their hardest for me to get fucking breached, mate. Style there. You know, everyone gives me shit, you're a shithouse, you're a shit... How am I a shithouse? You got the naughtiest firm in Liverpool trying to shoot me dead, and I still stayed in front of it for years. How the fuck's that a shithouse? I only left because my gaff was getting burnt. What am I meant to do? Everyone calls me a shithouse, lad. I'm still alive. I'm not lifed off. You call me what the fuck you like, mate. Most of them that are ripping into me, they're selling drugs and in jail. You don't really hear normal members of the public writing me off or chatting shit on me. It's always a little fucking weasel that's behind bars or just got out. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, a little tit, little fuck up, poisonous drug dealing rat. They're the only people that give me shit. And it's never to me face. You know what them groups like? Look, I've been in Liverpool and I'm meant to have this big naughty firm looking for me and they're going to do me and all this. And I'm marching through town and I get on them before they get on me. But in that group, the two at the back got on me straight away. That's what brought them bang on. They nearly snapped their necks when they recognised me and that made me get on it all, right? What should have they have done when they've seen me, them two kids? What should have they have done? If these are big hard scousers, because they think that the life's off now. 4 of them got lives off. 4 of the lads that was in town that day got themselves lives off for that Ashley Gale murder. So, that firm, right? 2 of them are with him. You know what they done? The lead, whoever the fucking leader was, they shit themselves. There's Darren. You know what they said? Darren, gee, you grass. They never come. I turned round. What? Moved round the corner. I've had a few occasions like that, you know, where I've been in court in Liverpool and I've got to cut through the city centre to get back to the train station. And I've got juice heads walking through the town like that. They get on me and just go... Pfft. I've seen them, honest to God, they slip off to the side and get on the phone. And then walking like on an angle as if I don't know they're there. Telling people I'm in town. This is what they like, shit houses. Honest. I'm game as fuck, me. So I'll just go where I want in Liverpool. Don't give a fuck. And what I've done one time is gone right through Breck Road, walk right through Failure. This is when they're all chatting madness. And I've seen a few of the little rats. They haven't come at me. You know what they've done? Before you know it, there's like 3 or 4 cars screeching looking for me. And this is what I'm up against. That's what you're up against as a lone wolf. That's what you're up against as a thug. Gangsters, they're all like that. Thugs were different. You'll know if you're a thug, mate. Why? Because you won't move like that shower of shit. You might go and have a joint, you might go and mix one of them, but you're your own man. You're not a gangster, you're a thug. Completely different from that shower of shit, trust me. You handle your fucking business. Why? Because you're by yourself and you've learned to do that. They can't handle their fucking business. Why? Because they've never by themselves and they've never learned to do that. We're completely different. Then gangs rely on us to do their dirty work. You won't get a gangster running down here on a surround with a gun doing a mission by himself. That's a thug. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that thug is not always with that gang. He's a loner. He likes his own space. Likes to get his weed, his bird and fuck off. When there's a mission to deal with, he's on it. That's a real kid. All these other elements, they're insecure, weak as fuck kids. That kid that's by himself and you know he's dangerous, you leave him alone. That's the series. You all know who they are. I don't need to keep on screaming about them. You know who the thugs are and you know who the fucking gangsters are. You know what the thug is? The thug's got the attitude with the law when he gets pulled. The gangster will please the law when he gets pulled. That's the difference. How are you, Louis D. Lad? Shivering. Get back to being yourselves, lads. I don't mean be a thug, be a hitman, be a fucking violent criminal. Just get back to being yourselves, mate. Get back to doing what you want to do. Get back to how you want to dress. Listen to the music that you like. Go and watch your pictures with your bird or something. Go to the pictures. Oh, I can't do that. What do you think? I'm a fucking queer? That's your attitude on you, innit, lad? It's gang attitude, that. Snap out of it. Snap out of that gang attitude. Why? Because it's jail. It's jail, mate. Honest to God, you're jail bait. The minute you start acting that way, you're fucking jail bait. Do you know what jail bait is? You're guaranteed jail in the next year. You're going in custody in 12 months, you. That's how much jail bait you are. How you're carrying yourself. How you're carrying yourself. There's observation cameras all over your estate and they've been there for 15 years or something. You're brand new, thinking the estates there's no cameras on them. You've got that old woman in the house that's been living there since you were born and she's had a camera in her house for the last 20 years, smack bang on that corner where we all stood when we were kids. You're stood there now. And you think you're not going to jail at some point. Yes, Johnny, lad. Honest, it's how the police work now, through intelligence. There's no police on the estate no more. Oh, I wonder why. Why do you think there's no police on the estate no more? You know when there's police on your estate, lads, and then all of a sudden it goes quiet and there's no police on your estate, what do you think it's for? You've got different levels of operations, okay? You've got local policing operations and then you've got national policing operations. Does that make sense to you? Right, so when you've got a local policing operation, what they'll do, my phone's going scatty, dead slow. What they'll do is, they'll place your area in a section 21 and you'll see patrol cars all over the place, searching, pulling, anything they can, they're looking for it. That's a local, do you understand? That's a local operation. When you've got a national operation on you, you do not see local police on your estate. It's a telltale sign, okay? It's alright when you've got the local force on you, it's only for bullshit. When you've got the national squad on you, you're looking double figures here. So a telltale sign of that, normally you're on your estate and you've got that local copper that stitches you to fuck, just popping on, wrecking your fucking heads. Mato vans coming on, spinning you, this, that. When you're under operation by a national team, a national squad that's trying to take you down as a gang or whatever, the only time your local bobbies are coming on to your estate when you've got one of these squads on you is when there's a new face. Alright? So when you've got the national squad on you, the local bobbies do not come on you or near you or disturb the operation that these have got on you. That's why they're absent, because you've got a naughty squad on you and they cannot jeopardise the observations, so they're told to stay away. The only time they're allowed to come back on mid-operation is when this squad has recognised a new face in the observations and they've got to pull the car over to identify the new kid in the picture. They'll get his details, pull yous all up, take your phones off yous, go and sit themselves back in the van, leave yous in your car, won't even search you, won't even ask if he's got weed on you. They'll just take your phones off yous, go and sit in their van for 10 minutes saying they're going to run your names through the system. What they're doing is taking your IME numbers off your phones, logging them into the matrix intelligence computer, that's what it's called, the matrix intelligence computer. Logging all that shit into there and then just letting you go back into the operation. If you've had any treatment like that now already, if you're listening to me and you've had treatment like this, pack up shop or you're getting double figures. Instead, make as much as you fucking can, because you're going to jail. You've got enough on you already. Yes, Louis D, you good? So stop thinking you're smart. We stop thinking they've not seen all this before. Drug dealing hasn't developed any major tricks to disguise what you're doing. What you're doing now, people have been doing for 30 years, exactly the same. What's the difference? Your transport. When we were doing it, we're on pedal bikes. When you're doing it, you're on electric. It's the only fucking difference. The way you're stashing it, the way you're chopping it, the way you're buying it, all that is exactly the fucking same. They just leave you. Think how long they've been dealing with that drug dealing problem. They know we took him out on Monday and there's one there Tuesday. Why do we need someone we don't know when we can leave a group in that we know? The minute they start supplying firearms, the minute they start using firearms, the minute they start discharging firearms, then we'll take them out. If they don't get involved in violence, at least we know. And that's the way they'll deal with it. That's what I think. They will leave that group of drug dealers in your community if they're not shooting and killing and fucking all. They'll leave them. Why? Because they know if they take them out, the next bunch will be fucking violence and bringing the public. And so they gauge risk more than results these days, the police. And they're well adapted to this dynamics of cycle. You take a group out, it's replaced with a group. Group out, replaced to the group. They know if you take two groups out, then you've got a power surge, couple of dead people, couple of this, So to stop all that bullshit, they'll just leave that firm there. Let them make the money. The minute they participate in violence, there's a squad on them and they're took out. Some of you are sitting there thinking, fuck, the police don't do that, the police don't do that. You're fucking mad if you think the police are fucking trustworthy like that. The police in Liverpool, every bit of my experience with police in Liverpool has been corrupted. Even when they've got me banged to rights and they don't need to doctor evidence, just to make sure. You understand what I mean? Corrupt as fuck, mate. I've had busies raiding our houses, taking 10 grand and saying 5 grand was recovered. All the time. They do it to everyone. Take watches and shit and keep them. You can't do fuck all. Merseyside police used to spin onto our estate, grab one of us, drag us into a fucking OST van, Operational Support Division they were called. Proper police. Dirty police. They'd drag us in this van, fucking weigh us in places where you wouldn't bruise. They'd know exactly where to hurt you, to call maximum pain, where they couldn't be punished or proved of an assault. And then they'd drop you off in Scotty. That's what the busies would do. Drop you off, bang in the middle of enemy territory. And I mean bang, you know, the minute you're out, so that you bang on. Why? Because they're looking at the NATO. They're looking at the fucking OST van straight away as soon as it comes into sight. And then they're kicking you out. You're just on sight, aren't you? Lad, mate. You shit yourself when that happens, you know. That's next level experience, that, like getting dropped into fucking, like getting dropped into a lake full of crocodiles. Honest, get hitting the fences and everything, you haven't even been chased yet. You know what I mean? You're hitting the fences, you haven't even been chased yet. That's how fucking scary the situation is. When I think back, you know, being like on the fringe of some mad shit, mate. So I've been involved in like, I haven't committed the murders, but I've been around about 6 murders. Do you understand what I mean? It's weird. I've had some mad people in my life who's gone on to kill people and all this mad shit, you know, it's weird. It's just fucking weird, mate. When I think how much death surrounds me, it's weird, you know. Have you got loads of people, you know, that side, who you've met, who you've had round you for a little hour or a week or a year, and now they're dead? Like shot dead and that. Fucking off it, mate. It's mad, you know, when you look back now. So when I look back to the gang, what we had on the Glysedale estates, weren't a gang, it's just a gang of fucking kids, to be honest with you. But when I look at the main kids that were round me then, the lads that was round me then, let's see. Six of them are lifed off. I know 7 people that have been shot dead and murdered. Associates of mine. Fucking mad, that, innit? When you think like that. They've not all been shot dead, but it's just, I've had people in my life who's had accidents and died on motorbikes and all that. You know what I mean? All that gang shit. When you've got kids dying on motorbikes, that's gang shit. You're just not saying it's gang shit, but it is gang shit. It's gang mentality. Flying around, no lids on, no protection, smoking weed, letting shots off, taking chase off police. It's gang shit. It's mad, innit? The way the kids just can't see. But we know why, innit? It's the conscious levels. So that's exactly what it is, you know. You know when you're a mother and you're screaming at your daughter, well, not screaming, but trying to tell her not to do A, B and C, because you've been there and been burnt by them lessons. You don't want your daughter being burnt by the same lessons, so you're telling her, hey, and she just can't see it. But when she reaches to a certain level of maturity and consciousness, she fully understands what you were doing then. But it's too late, isn't it? So what I've been thinking is, you know the way adults speak about certain stuff. So you know when we're trying to guide the youth and you're trying to tell your daughter to be a certain way and she doesn't listen to you. What I've been thinking is, would they listen to that 8-year-old better than me? If that 13-year-old had an 8-year-old telling her, you're fucking up, you're going to end up fucked if you carry on doing what you're doing, would they listen? You see the way we don't listen to our elders, really, do we? Do you reckon we'd listen more to a younger person telling us, hey, stop playing with knives, it's going to fucking ruin you? I reckon it would. I reckon if you had an assembly of 14, 15, 16-year-old lads, and then you had a couple of fucking 12-year-old lads clued up, started telling them, look what the fuck yous are doing to yourselves, I think it'd click a lot better, you know. Instead of an adult, look what yous are doing to yourselves. Imagine a young one saying it to them. Imagine the effect they got. It won't be the same dynamic as coming from an adult, you know. It'll be a completely different psyche there, and I think it'll have a major fucking impact, mate. But no one's doing it, are they? You know, if I'm an 18-year-old here, and I've got a fucking 14-year-old making me feel like I'm going to address myself, let me tell you that for fucking nothing. Honest. If you've got 14, 15, 16-year-old kids getting belittled by 11-year-old, making them feel ashamed of themselves the way they behave, and they'll address it. That's what I think. Defo. And you've got articulate kids out there that would be able to present such a platform to these teenage lads. You have got proper decent kids out there, do you understand what I mean? Who can fucking articulate and explain properly the risks of what some of these lads are doing. Anyway, that's moving forward. I've got some candidates. Me daughters. So imagine my 10-year-old Rosa, she's not 10 yet, give her a few years, doing a video saying like, so you're a 16-year-old lad and you sat on the street corner smoking weed. You're a fucking knobhead, you. That would impact more than the dad saying, you fucking dickhead, you're fucking your life up. A young girl saying that to him in an adult fashion would hit home 10 times more. Defo. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. When that lad's screaming his head off of his bed and she's saying, pack it in, pack it in, pack it in, he doesn't. But the minute the baby goes, Dad, stop it! Most dads. Understand what I mean? Therefore, so there's an angle there, a theory to try and put that into practice to see if it works, isn't it? If I could, I would. I can't, that's why I share my ideas. You can carry the ideas if they're working. Yes, Anne. See Faz, hope you're good, mate. Evening, says the pink rooms. Coming up to 9:45. Key 9-8. See, there's loads just getting in now, isn't there? Loads don't come in till after 10s as well, do they? You know, like the lads, the girls, they always come in around 10, don't they? You should be Prime Minister. Fuck that. I'll be the Mayor of Liverpool. The Mayor of Liverpool in 10 years. Never say never, mate. Don't underestimate me, lad. I'm only going to get better. I'm not going to fall off. I'm not going to return to crime, am I? I'm not going to start mixing with gangsters again, am I? So if I'm alive, then you never know what could happen, mate. You know, my input into Liverpool going forward in the next 10 years, people will see, won't they? So, you know, people can see what's good and what's not good. They can see someone wanting to be good genuinely and faking to be good as well. Not daft, are they, your nans? Your nans, your mas, your uncle. But they're not, I'm not daft. Why? Because I've been through a lot and seen a fucking lot. Your nan's not daft. Why? Because she's seen a lot and been through a fucking lot. So if you want advice, go to the people you fucking love. Don't go to dickhead down there. If you're a girl, you need advice, but you're scared to speak to your parents because you know the reaction. Suck it the fuck up, because down there will give you bad advice and you'll fuck up. These might get very fucking angry with you, but they'll help you. They'll fix it. They'll tell you fucking straight. If your ma or your nana is telling you, fuck that off, stay away from this, don't go over there, stop doing this with that there, they're not trying to control you. They're trying to make sure you don't fuck up while you're a kid. Kids that fuck up end up fucked for life. Do you understand? Listen to your mother, listen to your father if they're not fucked on drink and drugs. If they're fucked on drink and drugs, go to your nana, if you're lucky enough to have one still. Your ma and dad are not telling you to stay away from that prick for nothing. They can see the risk, they can see the impact on your life going down the line. So just fucking listen to them. Give them the benefit of doubt, not the gang. Give your mum and dad the benefit of the doubt every fucking time, not the fucking gang on the streets. Anyway, my chest's getting tight now. Yes, Debbie Jane, Nicola, it's fact though that too many kids aren't listening to the parents when the parents are warning them well in advance. You're gonna fuck up if you carry on. Listen to your ma and your fucking dad or your older brother. When you've got people in your life saying, what the fuck are you doing? You're gonna fuck your life up. Listen. Listen and correct your fucking ways. Why? Because you see all them fuck-ups that you're looking at now. They were told exactly the same fucking thing. You're gonna fuck your life up. They never listened, and look at them. Just fucking listen. Trust me, it's one of the biggest problems for kids. Not having the ability to fucking listen. If you want to learn your kids anything, learn them to fucking listen to you. I get bored dead fast. I'm sitting here bored, shitless, and go, fuck it, just get back on live. It's shit. It's shit being like this. It's shit living this life. Do you understand? Why would the fuck would you want to end up like this? Yous all end up like this. All of yous will end up like this. You've only got to see the kids who are ending up on TikTok now. Look around yourself, mate. You'll have lads out there, fuck that, getting on TikTok like fucking dickheads. You'll go into a 10, do a 15, get out the other side and be on TikTok. You get on TikTok now, you probably won't do a 10 or a 15. Why? Because it'll drag you off down there. It'll just drag you away from that shower of shit. Why? Because they'll probably be ripping you because you're on there, which will make you fucking go away from them. Look, there's absolutely no reason for any kids to be on the streets dealing drugs to make money when you've got fucking TikTok. Honest. If I wanted to, I could make fucking Brewsters off this app. Brewsters. Honest. Any kid that gets on this app finds himself a new community, sees the world in a different aspect, starts speaking to different cultures, different communities. Half of these kids on your estate have not been to town, never mind out of Liverpool. There's kids on housing estates in our city and they've never been to the city centre. I'm not lying, you know. Honest to fucking God, mate. So their view of the world is wow. Their perception of what it's like in the outside world, they just don't fucking know. And the minute they experience it, it's wow, is this what it's like? But normally it's too late. Normally they've got convictions and shit, so now they're in the big world that they've all of a sudden noticed is there. They can't do fuck all in it. Why? It's the criminal records and shit, so they can't really. You've got to stay there. Yes, Anne, Kate and Sam Louise. Peace out, L5, shout.